Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me all right out there? All right. Good afternoon. My name is Scott Miller. I'm the lead pastor here at Willamette Community Church, and I want to thank you for coming here today for this special open house of this building. For the past 100 plus years, this building has served our community in great ways. In 1909, as you can see up on this building, it was the initial Albany High School building. Memorial Middle School then started here. And then in 1964, the people of what is now Willamette Community Church bought this building. We reopened this today and invite you in because in 2013, we had an extensive fire in our building. And for the last 4 years, we've been doing much renovation. And so today we want you to be able to see this building, some of its historic glory. We do want to thank the Albany Regional Museum, who's donated many items for us to display today in our gymnasium. We hope that you'd come in and see that. But today we're gonna have a great time together. There are a few people up here on the top step with me that will briefly share with you before we do a ribbon cutting. But we will first start by introducing our mayor, Sharon Canopa. Would you give me a nice warm welcome for her?
Thank you, Scott. So on behalf of the city of Albany, we are so grateful for Willamette Community Church and the restoration of the beautiful high school that many people and for generations had used, and for the good stewardship that Willamette Community Church has provided for this facility, historic structure for many generations too. So we're very grateful for that. I know this probably came with a very shock when it came to having the fire. You were fortunate and very grateful we need to be for our fire department in being able to save this beautiful historic structure. But it probably came with many bumps along the way to be able to bring that restoration back. And it took some time, but it is just a beautiful building. It is Albany's past. You're preserving our past for future generations. We are so grateful for the good stewardship of this beautiful historic structure. In Albany, we have wonderful, compassionate community, and this is a piece of it. This shows how much compassion we have for our historic stock in our community. Albany's very proud of our historic district, and this is one piece of it, and we want to thank you so much for preserving it and preserving it for future generations to enjoy. With that, thank you so much. Next, I would like to introduce our Greater Albany Public School System Superintendent, Jim Golden.
Well, howdy and good afternoon. What a fine, beautiful day. Mike made it very clear to me as I was walking around the building today that we cannot have the building back. So what a fine job you folks did restoring this beautiful place. Lovely chapel, what a wonderful facility. I wanted to talk just real briefly because of the historic quality of this. I noticed a slide in there in the gymnasium about Chinatown being located over here, back in a time when the community was segregated and separate. We now live in an integrated community and we respect all people. And so one of the things I want to give you that is from my Christian roots is what we use in GAPS, which is we call it, you come into every conversation with a fist of five, which is bringing forgiveness, compassion, tolerance, and then obviously looking hopeful and with love in your heart. So I give that message to you. You can take it with you as you interact with people. It's a Christian message on this beautiful day. And I thank you for keeping this facility so beautiful. Thank you. And I'm introducing our wonderful Fire Chief, John Bradner.
Okay, well, thank you very much. When I was initially asked to speak about today, I'm thinking that fire was a long time ago. I don't remember much about that fire, but they asked me if I could just come and give a few pieces of information about it to help everybody, help the community remember it. So I had to go back through our files and pull some information out. We've had a lot of fires between this fire and that fire, and I seem to move on to the next one each time. So I've written some things down just so I don't forget what occurred. So on Monday, July 22nd, 2013 at 2:12 a.m., a fire was discovered at 420 Southeast 3rd Street, right here where we're at Willamette Community Church. The Albany Fire Department was dispatched to a first alarm church fire and responded with 17 firefighters from all 4 of our stations on 3 engines, 1 aerial ladder truck, 2 medic units, and 1 command vehicle. Arriving 5 minutes later at 2:17, the first firefighters discovered light smoke showing throughout the building and an activation of the fire alarm system due to water flow from the fire sprinkler system. After a quick size up of the situation and assessment of the extent of the fire, Battalion Chief Scott Cowan struck a second alarm to bring additional firefighters and fire engines from neighboring communities to help fight the fire. Fire suppression efforts lasted for about an hour and a half as a total of 35 firefighters responded to extinguish the fire and save this building. In addition to the crews from Albany, additional firefighters responded from Corvallis, Lebanon, and Tangent fire departments. The fire damaged mostly the boys' bathroom in the basement, and then it extended out to other areas surrounding that part of the basement and then surrounding areas of the structure. In addition to the fire damage that occurred, smoke permeated throughout most of the building, causing extensive repairs to be needed throughout the structure. With an initial estimate loss of $1 million, the fire was determined to be accidental in nature, starting from an exhaust fan in the boys' bathroom. This fire challenged our firefighters as there were numerous hidden and void spaces in this over 100-year-old structure. Firefighters worked to contain the stubborn fire by opening up walls and ceilings to expose and extinguish the fire that was burning inside. Fortunately, the building's fire sprinkler system activated, and 1 single sprinkler head held the fire in check while firefighters rooted out and extinguished the remaining flames. So as the fire chief, I'm very proud of my firefighters for the job that they did in extinguishing this fire and saving the structure. As a member of this community, I'm also pleased that this structure is still here with all of its history being the original high school for us to be able to gather at today. And I too want to thank Willamette Community Church for everything that they've done to save this structure and preserve it for generations to come. Thank you. And with that, I would like to introduce Albany Police Officer Mike Wood.
Forgive me, I'm a police officer, not a public speaker. I am literally a product of the institution here. I grew up going to church here, and I went to school here from kindergarten to 7th grade. And it's embarrassing for me to share, but I was actually spanked in kindergarten because I was roaring like Chewbacca. But nonetheless, it all worked out. I was speaking with my mother about this building, and just recently learned that my great-great-grandfather was a brick mason, and he actually participated in building a portion of this building. I also learned my investigative skills from my mother because I asked, well, when was this building built? And she pointed to the big date right above us. In the gym over here is where I honed my basketball skills. I was getting ready for a leap into the NBA, but I decided to, why are we laughing? I decided to go the route of the police officer. So anyway, I'm honored to be a part of the community still and have grown up here, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike. Before we have our ribbon cutting ceremony with the Chamber of Commerce and their ambassadors, I do have a gift that I'd like to give these 4 up here today. Some of you will see we have some light brown shirts with a picture of this building taken, I think, from the late 20s. And so let me just present these at this time. If you would come up here. Mayor Sharon Canopa. And Officer Mike Wood. Well, at this time, I'd like the Chamber of Commerce ambassadors to come forward. They will bring the ribbon and the scissors. Principal Doug Tharp and I will get the privilege today of cutting this ribbon. as Doug is the principal of Albany Christian School right now. Then after we cut this, we invite you to join us inside. We will go up the stairs. We have the video of some of the aftermath of the fire. We invite you to come into the gymnasium and see the things that have been borrowed by the Albany Regional Museum. There are some snacks down there. And we just hope that you'd have a great time. We were talking this morning and we found out there are some people here today that went to high school here back when it was Albany Public High School. Would you just raise your hands? Thank you for joining us. We have the gentleman who signed the check for First Baptist Church, Willamette Community Church, for us to get the building. Thank you. So again, thank you today. We just invite you to roam the building. There will be people with these light brown shirts on, and they will answer any of the questions you have. But at this time, Doug, you and I...
Right here, back down.
We're going to go right there. You go. You open one there, buddy. Push it all the way to the bottom. All right. You ready for this? 1, 2, 3. All right, at this time we will open these doors and let you come in. Again, thank you for being here today with us.
Our church was doing a pack and match today. Get ready to go. We have a lot of
Thanks for being here today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Glad you made it today.